From fancy cars to massive mansions, rappers live the life that many people dream of. But what if we told you that rappers aren't as rich as they seem? Stick around, because we will be going over how rappers make money and how record deals finesse their artists. But before we start, consider subscribing to our channel for more rap-related content. A lot of money that a rapper makes obviously comes from their music, and if you're not a weirdo, then you'll most likely listen to your favorite rapper on streaming services like Spotify or Apple Music. Since fans aren't buying the songs themselves, streaming services pay rappers based on how many streams their songs have. When breaking down payments, it's best to look at popular streaming platforms and their payouts on a million stream basis, with the best being Tidal with payments of about $12,840. Following Tidal, YouTube Music pays about $8,000 for a million streams, Apple Music pays around $7,800, and Spotify pays around a measly $5,000 per million streams. Underground artists might have a hard time keeping afloat, but successful rappers can easily do millions of streams in their sleep, and their music is on multiple streaming services, so they don't have to worry about their income being on just one platform. If anything, how are rappers not wealthier off of their music? Well, that's because they only get a small percentage of that revenue. Most of their money goes to the Uncle Sam of the music industry, which are record labels. Now, you might have seen most rappers complain about their record deals, with the most notable one of the past few years being Lil Uzi Vert's public feud with his record label. The reason this is a common thing in the industry is because rappers don't realize the truth behind labels until it's too late. Record deals might sound nice, but in reality, they make rappers broke. So we'll break down how the deals work. Let's say you're a rapper blowing up and a label decides to sign you for $4 million. This money isn't given to you, but is rather a loan to help you with your music career, and the label needs to earn it back. You have to buy things like a new flashy car, mansion, and iced out jewelry, so you're given a $2 million advance out of the $4 million owed to the label. Advances are common for labels to give out so rappers can splurge their money and go into debt easier. So let's say you spend the advance, and now you owe the label $2 million, and you have $2 million left in the budget. You now have to create an album to pay back the $2 million, which is going to mean a lot of time in the studio. Studio time isn't cheap and could cost $100 to $300 per rented hour, but $200 is a good number, so we're going to use that one for the cost. Labels will rent a studio for several months, so a rapper can record their albums, but we'll be generous and say you only need 1 month of studio time to make an album. The label will have to pay $150,000 for all the studio time, but you're also going to need beats for your album, as well as people to mix and master your music. Well-established producers usually get a payout of anywhere between $10,000 to $100,000 per beat, so a fair budget would be about $300,000 to pay producers and engineers. Your label is probably going to want some features on the album too, so you can reach a larger audience, and this can be pricey, as most popular rappers charge anywhere from $100,000 to $400,000 per feature, depending on how big they are. The label spends $800,000 to get rappers on your album, and now your project is complete, and you've spent $1.25 million out of the remaining $2 million in the budget. There is now $750,000 left out of the $4 million the label has provided, but you need to release a single off of the album to get people talking about your music. So the label spends $100,000 to shoot a music video with the best directors and equipment in order to make your single a hit song, and spends another $150,000 to promote your single everywhere. The song becomes a hit and is being played everywhere. So after months of writing the success and creating hype around your name, the label finally decides to let you announce a release date for the album. After all, labels usually have control over an artist's music and decide when they drop. Once your album is announced, they need to promote it till the day of release, as well as promote the album the first week of its release to try to get it to #1 on the charts. The label needs to fund several things like pay popular blog pages to post about your album, spend money on advertisements, pay for radio to promote and play your album, and pay streaming services to put you on popular playlists. The label spends the last $500,000 of the budget for promo and paying marketers on the team. And your album does well and sells 200,000 copies the first week. Every 1,500 streams of the album equals a single sale, which means your album did 300 million streams the first week. With about $7,000 paid per million streams, the album would generate about $2 million in the first week, but you still have to pay back the label the $4 million, which will take a few weeks since your sales per week will start to go down as time goes on. So after some time, your album helps the label recoup on the money lent. But even when it's time to finally see profit, rappers still get robbed of their money. Even after a label recoups from money given in a record deal, rappers only get a small percentage of their music sales, with most of them getting 4 to 8% of the money made. Even the biggest rappers in the game only get about 20% of the profits from their music. So how are rappers making so much money? The answer is that a majority of their money comes from touring. Unless a rapper is signed to a 360 deal, a label won't be able to touch most of the money made out of music. Artists can easily make millions on tour depending on expenses and how popular they are. They also can do a quick show if someone books them, earning anywhere from $50,000 to $400,000 per show depending on their popularity and booking price. Not only can they make money touring, but rappers like Travis Scott have shown they can be their own brand and get major endorsements from companies, which can make millions per deal. Forbes reported that Travis Scott made $40 million, earning $20 million from his Fortnite deal and another $20 from his McDonald's partnership. Unless an artist stays independent and signs a distribution deal, most rappers aren't going to make their fortune from the music that they put out. Hopefully, rappers wise up and realize that labels are taking what could be generational wealth from them, and they learn how to not sign these deals that rip them off. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and consider subscribing for more rap-related content.